What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to 2-0 show. So now we got a pretty much of a spicy pod. I'm feeling some kind of way. I don't know about what y'all fellas are, but before we get all into that, the MLB, the NBA, NFL trades, all that stuff, let's do some introductions.
This is Angry Joey.
This is the Hater with Facts.
I'm Mr. Raider.
Tony.
Big Silly here.
Hey, whoa, where's that? Yo, it's your boy in the house. Where's that, man?
Well, I'm back for a second day in a row, or second week in a row. I don't need to do that.
It's like, holy cow, you should be happy, man. You landed a huge wide receiver.
Yeah.
You would think that you would be happy.
Well, I'm sure we'll get into it, but we don't know we know it's 3 years. We don't know how much money he is old.
Well, yeah, but okay. Well, we'll get into it. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to still finish the introductions, though. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Don't get quiet on us now, Woo Pig. Introductions.
I already said hi. What are you
You
talking
did? I didn't hear.
about? Man,
I tell you what. Hey,
open up
we're
your ears
starting
today.
off right tonight.
Oh, man. I swear to God,
I was like, do we have a surprise guest that I'm not aware of? I was sitting there waiting.
Yeah. Dude, man, Raider, I think your beard just got a little bit grayer.
Man, I'm just so I'm like perplexed from this freaking free agency, but I'll wait. So Hater, you want to kick us off with the first topic?
Oh, yes, indeed. All right. So, everybody, we are in the midst of NFL free agency, and today we got hit with a banger that turned out to not be a banger because the Oakland Raiders have been big money spending, and
Las
it
Vegas.
kicked off. Yes, and it kicked off with their trade of their all-pro, all-world defensive end, Maxx Crosby, and they sent him to the Baltimore Ravens for 2 first-round picks, at least until the last 35 minutes, because the trade has been rescinded because Maxx Crosby failed his physical. So now he has
Crazy.
gone back to the Raiders, and unfortunately, the Raiders have already engaged in signing big money contracts to a lot of players, and now they're in a pickle right now. So, and we have one resident Raider fan here who is named Mr. Raider, and I'm pretty sure you have a lot to say. So I'm just going to give the floor to you, sir.
Oh, let me take my goddamn shirt off. I'm fucking hot. Let me take this shit off real quick. Hold on one second.
Must be a Raider jersey.
You know what, Joey? You can kiss my ass, and I say that affectionately. Okay, I love you, bro, and you know that. But you should kiss my ass right now. I'm only seeing you as a Bronco fan only right now. Let me tell you something. This bullshit is. I'm beside myself. It's weird. Like I feel. Let me calm down. Let me calm down. It's such a weird position to be in because I'm happy that he's back because Maxx Crosby is the perennial Raider. He's everything that we stand for. You know, high motor, productive, competitiveness, want to be out there in the field all the time. I love him. And when we got rid of him, I finally accepted the fact that he was gone. But what helped was the compensation, the 2 first-round draft picks. So I was really hoping that, was it pick 14, I think the Baltimore had, that we were still going to be able to get an edge rusher. So that shit ain't happening. And I'm like, all right, well, we have him back. That's great. But we just signed these 2 linebackers. We got a corner. Like, our cap is, I don't know where we're at right now. I haven't even looked it up because I'm too emotional to do that.
Well, you had the most going in, so that's good. And I like the signings.
Yeah, we had $110 million. We had the most in the NFL for his cap space. So I think we're going to be okay. But I think that just means that we're going to have to lean on all of our draft picks, which is good anyway. But so I'm hot, first of all, but I hope, this is my hope, that Crosby stays. If he stays, we can work it out, do something. If not, I hope that either some other team comes as like think a Hater before we got on and we had like a pre-show meeting that Detroit gives like a first rounder and a third for him. I would be okay with that, but I want to keep a guy like that though. So it's just a weird position to be in, and it's like it's so Raiders, man. It's so it's so Raiders. It
That's
really
all
is.
right, brother. Let it out,
It's
man.
not
Let
it's
it
not
out.
the Raiders' fault.
I know, man, but
what did he do to fail the physical?
I know,
his
that's what I wanna know.
The
his knee,
details have not come out. Yeah.
his knee. That's the rumor anyway. Again, I don't have any concrete evidence or anything to point
Yeah,
to
because
or
this
anything
just
like that.
dropped right as we were getting on.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 This is straight up live reaction, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's my honest take, man. Is I'm in a weird position. I'm happy he's back, but I'm sad we lost the draft capital. And now I'm wondering how that bridge is going to be between Crosby and the Raiders now that we made it known that we traded his ass.
Well,
You
not
know what I
only
mean?
that,
Well,
I mean,
it says I'm reading here that over 8 teams have showed interest in trading for Maxx Crosby since the news came out. So
Oh, for
it
sure.
might,
Now they're
it
gonna
might
pay
not
out
100%.
help, or it might not hurt you at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because they're all licking their lips because they think they can get him for half price now.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
maybe.
true.
Yep.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
and for some of the other teams that have already spent all their money, they probably took them out of the running. So that's why I'm happy for my squad because we don't have a lot of money to deal with, but we might have just enough to work this thing out.
And like the other teams, you haven't committed money to like another defensive end, like the
Nope.
Cowboys traded
True.
for line help. Obviously the Raiders
Yes.
signed a shit ton of defense. The Panthers need an edge rusher, but they signed paid a
Yeah.
lot of money for two linemen or linebackers.
Linebackers, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just weird what happens now. Since all those commitments were already made.
Yeah, it is. And, one of the things too, man, that I find pretty interesting is that, okay, so I love the free agency moves done so far by the Raiders. I mean, it's been a really
Yeah.
long time to where I could say that. The trade with Buffalo, that all pro corner, that was great. The two, was it Dean and Walker?
Yep.
That was great. And then Lindenbaum I was ecstatic about that because Mendoza's going to need, and I'm assuming Mendoza's going to be the number one pick.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
He's going to
100%.
need a center to help him with the defenses. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that was a
So,
great signing.
great signing, and I don't care if we overpaid for him or not. So that's the
No.
thing, and I think we still have room to absorb Crosby's contract, but at the same time, it's like, bro, if we can offload him to get a first round pick, man, that'd be.
I
don't
do
know.
think, since we're
Yeah.
talking Raiders, you paid a lot of money for Jalen Naylor, and he's kind of just a
Yeah,
guy. I know you needed a
right.
receiver,
I
but
don't understand that.
that's pretty desperate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. That's I don't. Why not trade for Pittman? I mean,
Or trade
why
for
not trade for
Pittman. Yeah.
Pittman? You know?
That was kind of weird, but at least according to Spot Track, you have $50 million in cap space right now, and you're third in the league in that. So that's with
Okay.
Crosby back on the team.
So
So
it's not bad. Not that bad.
Maybe if it's updated.
right,
True.
I think it is because they actually have Nakobe Dean on here and Jalen Naylor. So I think it's pretty up to date here.
So I do have one final confession though. Like my wife, so
Uh-oh.
I'm in the middle of eating dinner and I see this come across my phone and I flip the out. Like I throw my food away. I'm throwing in the trash. I'm like, ooh, ooh, I'm just going nuts. But I just got to calm down. In my Raiders therapy group, I think I told y'all about this
Yes.
text
yes.
message.
They all need
We
therapy.
changed it now with the Raiders support group.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
y'all
we're-
need something.
Yeah, you were
Hey,
spot on though.
nuts.
I just saw it just came out that Baltimore deemed it too risky because of his left knee surgery that he'd had. So yeah,
It took
Right.
less than 24 hours to go from being proud of your Raiders to being pissed again.
Yep. Hey, and I guess apparently Maxx Crosby just tweeted, saw what Spytek was doing, and I ain't leaving. And then it's what I thought it was the Wolves of Wall Street. I'm not fucking leaving. You know what I'm saying? So Maxx Crosby's all in, man.
But the problem is but of all the other, potential offseason plans that the Raiders have, clearly they thought about it post Maxx Crosby. So he might
Definitely.
want to, he might want to stay, but that doesn't mean that they want him to stay.
That's true.
That
And
defense all of a sudden becomes pretty nasty if he does.
Yeah. But that also probably means like they probably have to stop, like because with I don't know how many draft picks you have, so you had to keep a reserve
Yeah. Well, if I-
of reserve of money for that. So no,
Yeah, well, the only person we got to sign is Mendoza, so that should be fine. The rest of those will be on rookie contracts, so I'm not too worried about that. I did see something of the Raiders news wires that Dallas is offering a first and a second.
Okay, can we talk about that for a second?
Go for it, man. Go for it.
Can we please talk about that for a second? Because we got to revisit the episode of the stupid tax, and yet again it has come back into fruition again. Because is this an admission from Jerry Jones that he made a mistake in trading Michael Parsons there?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
him being petty towards the agent has now forced him to admit that I need a premier pass rusher, even though I have one on my team. And he was 5 years younger and on the same career path as this guy, who, I mean, technically it might be a little bit cheaper, but then again, you've already traded for Rashawn Gary. So I'm like,
Yeah, but you can never
good
have
old
too many
Cowboys,
pass
man.
rushers. You
Yeah.
can never have too many of them.
Yeah,
And
but I think he's up for a new contract too. See, but by the way, you still got a whole, a George Pickens problem. So he still want his money, dog.
George Pickens problem. What are you talking about?
They franchise tagged him.
Well, I know, but so all that means is that some other team can actually come in and they can match it. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true. Yes,
Yeah,
that is
that's
true.
true.
But we haven't heard anything that anybody has actually done that. So it's like, if they're stuck with him, like quote unquote, like
Well,
what are you going to do?
That's kind of a funny thing, because it could be argued by some that George Pickens was actually better than CeeDee Lamb this last year.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Especially
so
with tough catches.
yeah. But
man.
you had the whole George Pickens experience, right? So like you had the highest of highs, and then you had those moments where he would, be lazy on the field,
That's
and
true.
it kind of actually cost him a couple games. So so now it's like, all right, if you getting that big money and you somehow have to, and again, back to the stupid tax, if you end up paying him a contract that's now worth more than CD Lamb, what type of relationship does that create?
I don't think it fucking matters once they're making over 130 million.
So
each.
George Pickens is going to make 27.2 million this year. That's a lot. I don't know where it falls like within the top 10 receivers, but it's probably up there.
It is.
That's got to
It's
be
not
top 10.
well.
Because it has to be, right? When you're franchise tag, you get
Yeah.
like the average of the top 10
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big number.
Yeah. I'll find it. But here's the problem though. If you do that, there's one specific person that's actually coming up for a contract. Puka Nacua. So how much money you think he's gonna get?
Oh, geez.
Yeah. See,
30.
yeah. So 20. Let's see.
Well, you saw what happened with Pierce.
Right. Yes. So he's
Dude, I
making
know, man.
28. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations to him.
That was crazy though. A little bit overpay, I think. I know he had a good year, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think
They needed to keep him though, or
right. Yeah,
since
they traded Pittman, so now you're stuck. Like you had no choice, right? But
They had to trade him so they can get him that money.
right. I just I don't know, dude. If what you gonna do with Daniel Jones? That's the thing. Like,
Well,
Dude,
Danny
you're stuck with him.
Daniel Jones, he just got a big contract, didn't he?
well,
got
he's looking for one. That's the
He
thing.
got transition tagged.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not going anywhere.
See, $28 million would put him basically number 13
Oh,
as far as money per year, just below Jalen Waddle and Alec Pierce. So now let's document this, right? Because we're going to end up having to come back to it. So this is where the stupid tax comes in once again, right? So you franchise George Pickens right now, $28 million. Jamar Chase makes 40, and Puka Nacua is up for a deal. So you either should have just made him like, okay, if CeeDee Lamb's like 34, you probably would have got away with 33 and a half. But let's just,
Dude,
just
that's
so
a
you don't,
lot of money tied up into two receivers.
it is. But or you just should have traded him, but they didn't do that.
didn't
So
Detroit go through that?
no.
You
We didn't
sure?
have No,
They're not even during the McMillan days. I
Miller,
thought you had
no,
two.
no, 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 no. His problem was he wanted to keep drafting wide receivers. They
Oh,
unfortunately they were so terrible that they never made it to a point where we had to pay them. That was the issue. And the other and the other thing about that too was remember the salary cap was different back then when they didn't have the rookie wage scale back then. So, quarterbacks was getting 50 million and stuff like that, and wide receivers was already getting like big money out the gate to start with, right? So, but yeah, so we didn't have to worry about re-signings and all that type of stuff because they were either like on drugs or traded away or whatever. So we never had to worry about that. But in this case, if Puka goes over the top and surpasses Jamar Chase, who's already at 40.2, and let's just say 41 or 42 million, and then, if Pickens plays his contract out on his franchise tag and he hits, what I'm saying, he stays healthy and everything else. I mean, you can't franchise tag him a second time.
yeah.
You definitely can't do that.
Can I just be an a-hole for a second?
Sure.
I don't see a lot of teams being comfortable with giving him that kind of money just because of, I don't want to say character issues, but
Yeah.
something ain't quite right with that dude.
Well, it's something to be said if Mike Tomlin says, I can't deal with you, and he had Antonio Brown in his locker room.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, keep that in mind. Tomlin kicked his ass out
Yes.
quick.
Yeah.
And so would you be comfortable as a franchise giving a player like that $40 million a year? I don't know if I would be. That's just me.
Probably not, to be honest. But when you're in a situation like the Cowboys, like, first of all, you knew about him before you decided to make the deal. You didn't have to trade him or trade for him. You didn't have to do that. But now you got to justify the third round pick that you gave up to get him.
That's true.
So it's a tenuous situation. And what makes it worse, the same agent that represents Micah Parsons represents George Pickens. So good luck, Jerry.
Yeah.
But I guess the other notable signing, I think, right now is the fact that, Tua
Here we
gets
go.
cut from Miami. They eat that $99 million cap hit, and he immediately signs with Atlanta. What in the world is Atlanta doing?
Dude, I can't figure them out. I mean, it's like they just want to burn money.
Dude, they got him for free. It's literally
They got him for free,
$1.3 million, the league minimum. Miami's paying his whole salary. So why not? They wanted another left-handed quarterback to bridge the gap to Phoenix is ready, but
no,
He's
I'm
also
talking about
left-handed.
Miami. Why didn't they
Phoenix
try to
doesn't have
trade
any
him?
knees left either.
Right.
That my point. It wasn't Atlanta. It was Miami. Why didn't they try to get something from him? Why did just outright?
I don't know, man.
Because they couldn't, bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Nobody
they tried,
wanted to
and
pay the salary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so. So I mean, does he suck that bad?
Yes. And he's a snitch. You don't. He is. He was straight telling on people, like calling people out and saying some folk ain't making it to meetings and all that type of stuff, just all out to the media. Like he was.
Oh, you must be talking about cornrow Tua.
Yes, that's what I was just about to go there. I was like, man, Afro Tua, he wasn't doing all this stuff. He goes to cornrows, and all of a sudden he just a straight up narc. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? You can't do this. So, but hey, now he's in Atlanta. I don't know who we gonna tell on. Like, I go start snitching on folks going to Magic City.
Yeah, so I heard on NFL radio this morning, it was Bill Polian and Wilcox, I think. Anyway, they were saying that because Penix is left-handed and that the playbook has been designed for a left-handed quarterback, that if they got a right-handed quarterback, they would have to change everything. Then they give example of a tight end drag route that is different with the left-handed quarterback. So maybe that's why.
The rotation of the football also spins the opposite way.
Maybe that's why, because he's a lefty. So, and it only cost him $1.3 million. I mean, why not? Like Tony said, why not?
Yeah. I suppose. I mean, lucky for Tua, but I mean, I don't know if anybody else has anything to say about this, but I think it transitioned to another thing that I kind of mentioned in our chat. What does it say about Kyler Murray, given the fact that
Ooh.
Tua comes off the board immediately after being released, and somebody else got signed too.
Kyler Murray cannot be signed until tomorrow after 4 p.m. So that's why, and they can't even talk to him until tomorrow after 4 Eastern. So there will be you will not hear anything besides people being like, he should go to Minnesota, but they're not allowed to talk to him yet.
And Tony, for the audience, why is that?
I don't know. It's something because like he's still under contract, and even though they are believed to be releasing him, he's not officially released until Wednesday at 4.
So is he going to be a pre-June, June 1? What do you call that? It's like a June 1.
June 1st, a June 1st cut. So they can put his cap hit for 2 years. I don't know. I can look it up real.
So Tony would take. Where do you think he should go?
I mean, at this point, he's got to go to Minnesota. I think it makes a lot of sense. The guy. Well, I mean, at least for fantasy, he's put up good numbers. I know people don't like him for some reason anymore, but I think a fresh start. I think he's better than Tua, right? I mean, I think we can all agree on that. But Minnesota just makes the most sense now. I know the Jets traded for Geno, but I imagine the Jets are they have a lot of cap room, I think, still. I imagine they're going to inquire.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Minnesota's the only place left for him. For like a guaranteed starting job. But yeah, you're right. Geno Smith did get traded to the Jets. And I think they're just going to give Justin Fields his walking papers. So he should still be able to compete for the job.
The 2027 quarterback class is going to be pretty good, supposedly.
Yep.
So,
we heard that before.
From Ole Miss, he's going to be coming out.
And hey, for Kyler Murray, though, dude, it's not a bad thing to be like, hey, you want to come throw the ball to fucking Justin Jefferson? Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
right.
If he can find him. I think the only person that's going to be happy if he shows up is TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget about Jordan Addison now.
Hey, man, he's in legal trouble again.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Man. Trouble, maybe.
Come on, bro. Make your money and stay out of trouble, man.
No, he can't help himself, man.
Yeah, some people can't help it.
he can't fight the resistance, bro.
It is, man. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, the other person I was thinking of is Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew got signed to the Cardinals, all before Kyler Murray even gets mentioned. But I didn't think about that detail Tony would take. So that's good.
I got a question though. I'm sorry.
Sure.
How many teams has Gardner Minshew been on in the last 4 years?
Dude, a lot.
32.
You're right, Angry Joey. I think he might have played for every single NFL team in some capacity.
Well 31, because I know he didn't play for the Broncos, but yeah.
Not yet.
Let's see. He got the Jags, the Colts, the Raiders, and the Chiefs, and now the Cardinals. So
he was on the Chiefs?
He was on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I know he never set a foot on the field, but
I think he played one. I think he played one game.
I think he played a game.
Yeah, because I think they were wrestling
dang! I did not know that.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
he's been around.
Wow, he's been around.
Yeah,
he's like a $5 hooker. I mean, this guy, he's getting passed around like nobody's business.
Hey, man, he
was on Philadelphia too.
Yep.
Hey, on the loaf of bread, the first piece and the last piece, how everybody touches it, nobody wants it.
Yep.
That is this situation.
I don't want to go to the store, but it's like, well, hey man, I want the sandwich.
That's right.
That's right.
I looked it up. So who has who is? Do you know who holds the record for being with the most teams? This is impressive. I'm even surprised by this. And he's currently in the league right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh Johnson.
What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has played
Is
for
he still on the Commanders?
he has played for 14 different franchises.
That's nuts.
Wow.
Wow.
Is he still on the Commanders? I think that was his
Yeah,
last
yeah,
team.
he's an active on the Commanders. Yeah.
That's crazy. I
Hey,
didn't know
man.
that.
Hey, man.
Damn.
Hey, I gotta hand it to these guys. You know, I mean, take a page from Kirk Cousins. Get your money while you can.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Or be like remember Mark Brunell, his career lasted a long time and he was a backup quarterback the latter half and still made about 30 million.
Yeah.
Before he retired. So shit.
I mean, you can talk smack about the guys like Frank Gore, who actually went around the league too, but at least he was productive.
Right.
At least he was a banger. I mean, but still, 14 teams. Oh Lord, have mercy. That's
He's been in the league for 18 years.
Wow.
Wow. I didn't know that, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, man. He
wow,
getting you
that's
money.
silly.
I can't even knock it, but that just goes to show you about the quarterback position. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you do right.
Yep. You can pay me $8 million a year to hold a clipboard, no problem.
Right?
Yep. And I will go to team to do it.
I actually heard this one comedian actually say a little skit about, so talking about Brett Favre, and they were saying, okay, so they're wanting me to walk away, and I'm being offered $15 million for this year. Yeah, well, they could go themselves. Okay, so next year, next year, I would be a backup quarterback. What does that pay? About $2 million. Yeah, well, I'm going to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You're playing these guys, getting offered all this money. I mean, why would they actually hang it up? If they could still manage to put on pads, But anyway,
well,
especially if you're the
speaking of
backup.
speaking of signing quarterbacks, hey, shout out to Phillip Rivers, man, because for him, when he came back out of retirement and played for the Colts last year, do you know what that did for him? It reset
His health insurance.
Yes. So
Yep.
He has like
Smart, dude.
20 kids.
Yeah.
He has 10. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
He's got a whole football team at home.
Yep. So I was like, oh man, that's pretty slick, man. Like I was like, wow, that's a nice little benefit right there, man. Good job.
Dude, but not only
Phillip
that, I was
Rivers,
reading an article.
I was going to say, if
about the-
anybody needs health insurance, it's Phillip Rivers with his 50 fucking kids.
Yeah, man. Dude,
Hey.
but he almost had the Bills head coaching job. He was like, they were like really impressed.
Really?
Well, I think
Head coaching?
he interviewed for the Buffalo Bills head coaching position.
Hmm.
And
See him be a
now the
coach one
reports
day.
come out that they really liked him, but they were like, you got to be sure about this. And then I think he kind of was like, yeah, I don't know if I can, if I can do it. So, but they said he was a real contender for the job.
I think he'd be a good coach.
I do too, dude. He's awesome, man. He's just a likable guy too, and the way he talks shit and never curses is funny as shit. Fuck, man.
I know, right?
God dang, God, yeah, but then, dude, they say he talks more shit than anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that too.
So, and I know. I mean, he was one of those guys that I just love to hate, man. Because I mean, he would actually call you an asshole without calling you an asshole. It was so funny, I mean, but he was a master instigator, believe that.
Yep.
And you know that as well as I do there, Raider.
Yeah, I do. Hey, also, I got a question for you, Tony, with takes. What do you think about Mike Evans signing with the Niners?
All right. I know that was the big signing, and more because he's just a amazing player, first ballot Hall of Famer, and it sounds splashy, but we're already the oldest team in the league, and we need to get young and explosive. We don't even know what the deal is yet. We know it's 3 years. If we paid, we don't have a lot of money, so I hope we didn't splurge just to get him on the team to make it look cool. He's going to be 33 before the season starts. He only played 8 games last year, and really in those 8 games, he didn't do anything because of the hamstring. He had less than 400 yards last year. And I wouldn't care if he was still 28, 29, but he's going to be 33. So I know all the analysts on NFL Network and shit like it, but I really don't. I don't love it, I do want to see how much we're going to pay him. That could make me feel a little better, but I'm guessing I'm going to be even more pissed when we see it.
Tony, one of the things that I actually saw today, though, was the fact that Because another team that was actually pursuing Mike Evans was the Denver Broncos. And one
Oh,
of the
really?
things yeah, they were going after him. But one of the things that made Mike Evans actually sign with him was the difference between Sean Payton and Shanahan, and the way they actually view their players.
Okay.
In other words, what they were saying is that the way Shanahan is actually doing things, he wants his players to be fresh. So he's going to take care of their players as best he possibly can, which is kind of ironic when you think about it, because I mean, the Niners are infamous for always getting hurt,
Dude,
but
you just, yep. I was just going to say, I'm like, well, our training staff sucks so bad where they're never on the field anyway. So they get lots of rest while their fucking knees are gone.
my point is that if they can manage to shore that piece up, I mean, because I think that he's right, or the writer was right in the sense that Shanahan, I think that he really does care about his players. Not to suggest that, Sean Payton doesn't.
Yeah.
But I think that it's kind of an afterthought with him, in the sense that he wants to just win at all costs. That's, yeah, I mean, and I don't know. I have mixed emotions about that. So I think that Mike Evans is going to be fine as long as he can stay healthy, but
Well, yeah, that's the thing, though, right? I mean, he's a bigger guy. They usually don't age very well into their 30s, yeah, like especially like big receivers like that. So,
Yeah.
I'm just nervous, because we look, we need receiver. We're gonna lose Juwan Jennings, but man, and
You
I'm
think
sick
you're
of
gonna
drafting
lose
him
Juwan
too. But
Jennings?
what,
You think
I
you're
think
gonna
so
lose
now after this, yeah, because they're kind of redundant
Yeah.
assets. I know Juwan Jennings is a little bit younger, but he's an old guy. He broke out kind of really late in his career, but he's like 30 already. Yeah, so I think he'll go somewhere else.
I have the numbers here. Are you ready?
Oh, you do?
Yes.
I have not seen anything about them. All right. Yeah, shoot.
It's 3 years, 42.4 million.
That's not bad.
Okay.
16.3 guaranteed.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
seeing 3 years, 60 million.
Oh, see, that's exactly
Uh-oh.
what it better fucking not be.
Quit playing with his emotions.
No, I said, well, I'm looking at Spot Track here. They're normally pretty. They're pretty spot on here. But 3-year, 42.4 contract, including 16.3 guaranteed, and an average annual salary of 14.13. So,
Dude, are we sure? Because I'm seeing different too. So I don't. We'll see.
yeah,
That
I
was
mean,
the
it will
one
come out
number
official
that.
tomorrow. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one number that, like, they weren't sure of. So the Niners are like notorious for like not fucking saying anything about anything. So.
Yeah. I saw the 60.4 million on ESPN.
See, then that would
so-
be
that sounds
really
like
fucking
that sounds
terrible.
like something the 49ers wouldn't do. I feel like they would, because that's almost close to the IU contract. I'm like, wait, why would you do that for
Yeah.
for a 33-year-old? That doesn't
Yeah,
make any
well, I'm surprised we didn't trade Ayuk to try to free up some money.
I was gonna say, I mean,
too much news
typically
came out. You can't.
the Niners typically are a little bit more savvy than that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We get a little weird with our free agent spending though. That is pretty typical of us. But
You think
Yeah.
so?
yeah, man, we pay a shit ton of money to, like, if we want a guy, we'll pay him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Javon Hargrave, that was a terrible fucking signing. Like, there's always one big signing we do every offseason, like a big name, and we pay him way too much. That's why they come here and then they fucking suck all of a sudden for some reason.
Well,
So what other moves have the Niners made that you've liked though?
Well, we didn't
Or
really
have they
do
made
much. We
any?
signed like some backup linemen. We really didn't really do much besides that, and we didn't have a lot of money either. We re-signed our fucking kicker, who's probably like that's our like third kicker last year. He's probably gonna fucking suck because all our kickers do that. They're like, oh, I think we found our kicker of the future, and then the next year is like, nope, he forgot how to kick. So, I mean, so we didn't do nothing, but I knew we weren't really gonna do anything. I was surprised though that, I mean, I'm obviously surprised on the Mike Evans signing, and we didn't trade Ayuk, or I don't even know if we tried. We're losing Jennings, so we'll have Evans, Pearsall, Kittle's. Like, we didn't even. I was.
That's actually not bad, man.
What?
Dude,
What's not bad?
I was gonna say your
Your
skill
wide
position,
receivers.
pretty
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah,
I
man,
mean,
that's not
Pearsall-
bad.
What is the whole? What? It's not bad, but what is the whole? every year they're hurt. Ricky Pearsall's been in the league 2 years now. He's been hurt more games than he's played. You know.
You got
And
shot,
I
man.
I understand,
man.
I understand that, but when he came back
come
from
on,
that,
Jersey.
he got hurt. No, hey, look, that's unfortunate,
man.
and it's
You're
that's
brutal.
unfortunate. It's a freak thing, but he did come back
He's
from that
like,
healthy.
Shot. Get over it in
No,
a day. Get back here on the
No,
field.
motherfucker, he came back from it healthy and then got a different injury.
Like, Tony, I got in a car wreck and got shot. Hey, you're gonna be at work tomorrow, right? You know,
No, in 8 weeks though, you better be.
With the doctor's note.
He has no excuse for last year, and he was hurt most of the year.
Yeah, I see. I hear your point, Tony, with takes, but also y'all signed a left tackle. I mean, like probably like a backup left tackle.
Yeah,
and an inside linebacker. So yeah, not too much on the 49er front, but
no.
But the other big quarterback signing I don't think we talked about yet is Malik Willis going to Miami for a 3-year deal. So I'm not sure what team he's walking into because it seems like there's more people leaving than are actually coming. So
I was gonna say, is that really that big of a signing? Honestly,
for Malik, yes,
I think so.
Well,
Yeah,
for him it is. Yeah, he gets money, you know. But at the same time, do you think that he's actually going to be the heir apparent?
Yeah,
I don't think they have a choice.
Is from Green Bay. The whole staff, the coaching, the GM,
so they know
everything.
Him, yeah.
Yeah, they're all from Green Bay.
He looked good when he spelled love. He's looked like really good.
Yeah.
Now, of course, for fantasy, it's amazing, and I was happy because I figured that. That's why I spent the 111 for him. I thought that was fair value, but now I'm like, all right, sweet.
That's a pretty sweet deal for him. But I think the biggest question right now for Miami is
just one quick question though, Tony. Did you get him in the super flex or did you get him in just a regular league?
No, our super flex league.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You suck.
Yeah, because I had Tua and I didn't even know if Tua was going to be starting anymore. So I need quarterback help, man. And I don't love this draft class. Like, who's going to be there at the 111, right? I was like, let me just.
Yeah.
Well, aside from
that's not a bad deal.
Aside from that kid from Indiana.
Yeah, but he's going to go top 3.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and it's
better not be there at 5.
No, he's not going to be
He'll
there
be gone before then, dude.
Yeah.
And
it's super flex.
He better not be there at 5.
Bro, I'm number 1. So you can go ahead and cancel that dream. All right.
Well, that's fine.
You take him over Love.
I'll take Love.
Huh?
You take him over
He ain't
Love.
making the 5 either. Stop it.
Well, hell no.
I'm picking. I think I'm picking second in that league.
Oh,
yeah, I think you are actually.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
What? That's weird.
So
wait,
hold
on.
You go.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. So you're picking second in both leagues, bro?
Okay. I know you ain't talking Mr. 0-16 and finishing last in both leagues.
I am.
You shut your mouth, sir.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You serious? You serious? Bro,
Hey, man.
You've been the Cleveland Browns of our league for years.
Hey, brother. At least I'm coming up on one of them.
Yo, man.
All right.
Yo, man.
Not both. Hey.
You don't want this smoke right now.
I don't.
Don't do it. I'll bring up your records.
Look. First of all, I know you're a little bit perturbed right now because of what your Raiders doing. I understand that. I'm just pointing out what was going on. I'm the hater with facts, sir. That is a fact.
And you're also last place in both leagues.
It's okay. Yes, that's also true too. I'm not saying I didn't. All right. I got a lot more work to do in the Superflex League. I'm getting there. I'm building.
You sure?
All right.
Are you sure? How much more time do you need?
I probably got another couple years, but it's okay. I'm
Hey,
patient.
Tony, Kyle, do you have your popcorn?
I got it. I'm munching it.
Unfortunately, the Blitz League has taught me patience, so it's okay.
I can't believe this motherfucker took a shot at me for finishing the
big one too.
Second.
You said it.
What did I have to do with anything,
You
bro?
said it. You said it. I'm just acknowledging what you said.
Oh, laugh at me talking about you finishing second. Hey, you know what, man?
Hey, man.
You know what?
You know what? You don't know. It's payback because you threw a slight jab at me in our last episode too.
What you talking about? That was
you
Joey.
did. No, it wasn't. It was you. I listened. It was you. But that's fine. It's okay. But we're gonna move on. So now let's talk about some of these
I
running
bet you
backs.
want to.
Yeah. So, so let's start with this first. So the Arizona Cardinals,
Dude.
so
Yeah.
they signed Tyler Algier and made and brought James Conner back.
No sense bringing Connor back. I actually liked the Algier signing, but why bring Connor back? It don't make any damn sense.
I don't get it.
Agree.
And rest in peace, Trey Benson, because I thought he was about to graduate, but
I
nope.
know. I know. So they must not like Benson then, like, which is
yeah.
weird.
That was a new staff too. So
It is a weird signing. Unless they actually shore up that offensive line, then none of it matters.
Well, they
yeah,
they signed 2 linemen.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they did.
And I imagine, this draft does have some good offensive line. I imagine they're going to spend some picks on that.
Yeah. I will say, like, some of the running back contracts that have been spent so far, I'm kind of happy, like, overall for the running back position, because the league, they tried to undervalue the running back position and stuff like that, but I think with Kenneth Walker, winning MVP for the Seahawks and not Sam Darnold, I think helped out a little bit.
But they still didn't get a lot of money, I feel like I don't know.
Are you talking about that Super
the
Bowl
Dobbins
champion, Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. While riding shotgun. But
Say it, hater.
fine.
Say it.
What?
Super Bowl champion.
You can say it now.
Okay. Yeah, Super Bowl champion.
Say
Super
it
Bowl
now.
champion Sam Darnold.
There we go.
Hey,
Hey,
you really impressed me.
Rupe, can you remind me how many Super Bowls does Stafford and Sam Darnold have?
I'm glad. I'm glad you.
I believe they each have one. Is that correct?
Hey,
Well,
hey, hey, you know what? I'm embracing that Mr. Hater or Mr. Raider energy right now, because all those years you were talking about Stafford being a bum. Let me tell you something, man. Sam Darnold is still a bum. He might have a championship ring, but he's still a bum.
Wow.
Period. Point blank. And if he want to impress me, go ahead and do it again then.
Yeesh. Okay, so for him to be able to impress you, he has to get another
Super
ship.
Bowl. Yes,
he has to go to the dance. Let's say that he actually gets
to win more than
the
Stafford.
playoffs.
Yeah. Hey, hey, he got his coordinator. His coordinator's gone, and his MVP that he rode the back on, he's out there too. So now, I don't know how much JSN can carry him, but now that's going to be his job, and we gonna see. We will see if that defense can hold him up, if JSN can hold him up, and if Sam Darnold can actually keep it together for another year consecutively without Kubiak as his offensive coach. We'll see.
Well, my bad for triggering you, bro. I was just messing around, but hey, two questions for everybody before we move on to NBA.
Yeah.
We can't leave.
We still have much more.
There's a lot of running backs to talk about, but go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying I got 2 other questions. So, like, one, we cannot talk about NFL without talking about Genocide Smith. I call him Genocide. That guy going back to New York after he done got punched in the eye socket, knocked the hell out in the middle of the locker room, and sent on a plane the next day out of the organization.
And was late to a game because he couldn't remember how time differences works while watching Gone Girl. I will never let that go. That's man.
This fool, he flipped off the Raiders fans, after he played like trash during the game, and you gonna flip the fans off for booing you when you're playing like trash. Right. I was like, that's why and for the audience, we have a text group, Blitz League, and I texted in there. I said, "Apply Felicia with 2 middle fingers." I said, "Take these with you."
Yeah, rightfully so.
Hey, man.
From a football perspective, you don't do that. I mean, what the hell was he thinking? I mean,
well, that's the thing. He doesn't think.
Actually knew that he was on his way out. Yeah. I think he did. And he's like, "What the hell do I have to lose? I'm just gonna, give the Raiders fans give them the bird. I mean, that's so unclassy. I mean, my God, dude, what a. I'm just saying.
But you know what? But what really makes me sad though is he's already killed 2 coaches already, and now he's about to go to the Jets with Aaron Glenn, and Aaron Glenn is already on a short leash as it is, and now this dude it's on Geno Smith to save his job. I mean, come on, dude. Like,
Full circle, aren't we?
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
I feel bad.
I hate that though, man. Like, all right, what did you think? Just like that, he's not a magician. You know what I'm saying? He's not a
No.
wizard who wants like he's just the team's going to be good just because you hired a new coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, give the guy
Yeah.
a chance.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, man. Look at Seattle and look at the Patriots. They hired new coaches, man, and look, they end up going to Super Bowl.
Yeah, but the Jets are dysfunctional and they don't have the personnel, you know, and the owner and the GM need to know this. I mean, it's the fucking their fault too.
Yeah,
true.
You know, and they're just not going to get out of it for a little while. But like I said, I think Gino just a stop yet because they're going to have another top 5 pick next year, and
he's
then
a bridge.
hopefully
He's a
finally
bridge.
get their quarterback. Yeah,
but he's a bridge. But the problem is, will Aaron Glenn still be there to actually get that next quarterback? That's the problem.
I know, man. It's silly.
Yeah.
Jeez, I hate to see it. I hate to see it for him. But
What did they get for Gino?
a 7th round pick.
That was a Las Vegas Raiders saying,
That's
"Suck
your
my
word,
dick."
you mother.
Oh, I should have.
Jeez.
I stopped.
Apologize.
Okay, but yeah, that's your worth, you prick.
Yeah.
Yeah. You phenomenal person, you.
Well, but some of the other running back signings, we'll just put them all out there. So Kenneth Walker is going to the Chiefs. Great.
I like that.
Travis Etienne is going to the Saints.
I like that.
Rico Dottle went to the Steelers.
I like that too.
J.K. Dobbins came back to the Broncos.
I actually like that too.
Dude,
But
they paid a lot for him. That was weird.
they
Yeah,
did.
$20 million for 2 years. You know, and
Yeah.
as it turns out, I think it was either 8 to 10 million is guaranteed.
8 million.
Well,
8
I
million
think it was
guaranteed.
8 million. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 million guaranteed. Yeah.
So
That's a good signing. I like it.
I think they
Well,
got desperate. I
okay.
think they were going after one of the top guys and they didn't get
They
him.
were.
And
They panicked. They panicked.
Oh well, yeah,
And,
but not a bad valuation
yeah,
prize.
you know, because they were very much going after Kenneth Walker and or you know Travis Etienne or any of those other guys. And then when they found that they were actually going with other teams, they had no choice but to sign JK. You know, I mean, it's a great signing if the man can stay healthy. For
Yeah,
the
well,
love
that's
of
the
God,
problem.
he's been in the league for what now, 7, 8 years, and he has not completed a full season yet. You know, so
That's why I was
last
surprised
year
with the money.
yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
was
exactly.
actually, you know, he was on a pivotal year. He had what in 8 games, he had 700 and almost close to 800 yards. You
Yeah,
know,
but-
so if
yeah.
he can stay healthy, you know, he's awesome. You know, but I think that at the end of the day, the Broncos panicked and they
Yeah.
were like,
But dude, I'm surprised. Rashad White's out there. I think he's a better running back than J.K. Dobbins at this point, and he's younger and at least
Yep, I
healthier.
would agree with that.
well,
So I'm,
healthier. You know, so
I just hope fucking Rashad White doesn't go to the Jaguars, man.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Because I think I could see a situation where he goes there. But Bashal Tutin is the number 1 there right now, and I love that.
Wait,
also,
who's my bad?
no, I was gonna
Who's the running back? The other running back in Denver is RJ Harvey.
RJ
Yeah,
Harvey.
Harvey, yeah. Yep.
So do you think Peyton maybe is trying to do a running back by committee?
Well, okay, so
He did last year.
the
Yeah.
roles won't
The other
change.
rumor is that you know now that the Saints actually picked who is it, ATN?
Yep.
Travis
Yes.
Etienne, yeah.
Rumor has it that guess who Sean Payton might be going after?
Alvin
Alvin
Kamara?
Kamara?
Yeah.
Man, does he have anything left? Man,
Well,
Okay.
why not?
I
mean,
guess.
he did all that in
Yeah.
the dome, bro. You put him out there in Denver cold ass weather in the middle of January and December. I don't know.
I think that orange is squeezed out, bro. I'm
So-
sorry.
Perhaps.
One thing,
You know, but
one
if
thing.
if it's rotation on your back, you know, I mean, then who knows what can happen?
Mm.
You know, I mean, yeah. So
Go ahead, Tony.
anyway,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. But one thing these running back moves do is changes the draft because a lot of
Indeed.
people had Jeremiah Love going to either the Saints or the Chiefs at 8 and 9. Now it looks like he's probably going to be a Titan or a Commander. I mean, it doesn't really matter where he goes because he's just very good. But like
Yeah.
you know, it
Well, at
does
least
kind of
it's not-
change everything.
at least I know he's not going to the fucking Chiefs.
No, well,
Yeah.
dude, I would rather the Chiefs draft a running back at 9. You know, but because if Caleb Downs goes to the Chiefs, I'm going to be fucking pissed now. I can just see that
maybe.
shit. everybody passing on, taking, just passing on the best player in the whole draft and just fucking letting the Chiefs have him.
Well, it happened with the Eagles for like 3 drafts in a row. So
Yeah.
But another good signing as well was Kenneth Gainwell going to the Bucks. I think that was a really good signing.
Yeah.
Sneaky
Agreed.
signing.
Not for Bucky, for fantasy anyway. Bucky Irving owners are probably pissed because if he caught a balls with the Steelers. I imagine they're going to use him the same way, right? They saw how the Steelers used him. He was awesome in that role.
Yep. Oh, well, I guess we have to mention this too. With my Lions, they traded David Montgomery away, and to replace him, they signed Isaiah Pacheco to a contract.
So
I'm not mad at it. I was talking to Monster today about it, and like what would the same way that we deployed them, will it be the same now that Jahmyr Gibbs is now he's a veteran now, not a rookie? So are we still going to, have that same type of deployment now that he's established himself in the league? And I think that's where the conversation would need to be had between him and Dan Campbell is like, look, you are still the starter. It's almost like, how the Spurs were with Gino, with Manu Ginobili, right? Even though he was technically a 6-man, but he was getting starters minutes. So does it really matter if you still ended up with, 16 carries for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns? No. So
no, we kind of talked about this last week. Like, you don't want him to have too many touches.
No, you don't. Yep. Because the one thing I don't want is for him to end up like Tony Pollard did with Zeke. I don't want that, So
but he's gonna be the bell cow. But they need somebody to spell him. He's not gonna. Pacheco will not touch the ball as much as Dave Montgomery did, in my opinion. Yeah.
No, but at the same time, I like this signing for you guys. Just because you had your banger.
Yes.
You let him go, and now you have another banger. So welcome to my pain. Being a Bronco fan, because we don't have that banger if J.K. Dobbins can't stay healthy. Pacheco, I think that he kind of fits that mold. I think that he's going to complement Gibbs very well. I think that was a good signing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pissed because I have David Montgomery on my fantasy football team, and now he plays for the damn Texans instead of Detroit. So
he's going
to be a bell cow. That's not a bad thing, dude.
It's a bad thing because they have the worst offensive line in football.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying.
It's not gonna look the same, and he's getting old now.
Yeah, so that's why it's gonna suck. So
but he's getting carries now. That's
he's
there's nothing more
for 1 yard because the offensive line can't block.
Yeah, but at the same time, like he was, as you got close to the fantasy playoffs and you thought you could depend on Montgomery, and he ended up with less than 10 carries in a game. It's just like, dude, like that doesn't help you,
Yeah.
So, but and we talked about the Jets a little bit, but I'm really still trying to understand why in the world are they trying to franchise tag Breece Hall and they're working on the deal for long term. I don't understand this at all. What in the hell are the Chiefs, or not the Chiefs? What the hell the Jets are doing? I don't get it.
No damn sense.
I am mystified myself, sir. I don't get it. You would think that they would be trying to sell the farm, because of how they suck.
Right.
But dude,
you sold the entire defense. You sold the entire defense. You sold Sauce. You sold Quentin Williams. You sold all of that, but you're going to keep Breece Hall.
Yeah.
What?
And I'd be curious to see. I need to get online to find out what kind of picks they have.
The Jets?
Yeah.
They're tanking. They're tanking, bro.
Yeah. Well, tanking for what? They don't have any capital. That's my point. They have nothing
next year.
Yeah, they have 2 firsts and 2 seconds next year right now.
Yeah, they're tanking for next year.
It almost reminds me of certain players in our league, that have actually been tanking for years, and guess where that gets them? Fucking nowhere.
But in the real NFL, you need a quarterback.
Yeah.
So and I guess that kind of rubs off into another episode of what we're gonna do. When we talk about our trades and stuff like that, and when to do, what to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't understand what the Jets are doing, It just makes no sense to me because they can never seem to get it right. They just predominantly suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, for years. But so who do y'all think won? I know it's early. But who do y'all think won free agency so far? Or maybe that's not the better word. Like who is performed the best so far this for in the opening
Dude,
of the free agency?
I like what the Raiders and the Panthers have done, man.
Yeah.
I agree. I
Well,
like
I would say the Panthers. I mean, I agree that the Raiders, but I would say the Raiders, but what happened with the Maxx Crosby debacle kind of throws things off kilter.
Yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen with that, but yeah, I
We
mean,
don't know what's going to
that
happen with that.
notwithstanding,
yeah.
But if you exclude that, look at the
they
free
did
agent
they did
signings.
great,
Well,
bro.
then
The
definitely
best
the Raiders.
offensive lineman available, shit, probably the best player available in all free agency. Then you revamp your defense. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you got to be happy if you're a Raiders fan. I know we'll see what happens with the Crosby thing, but that's kind of not their fault, It's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
True. Yeah, I would lean towards Carolina and the Raiders so far as well.
I'm thinking more along the lines of the I would say the Raiders, if they keep Maxx Crosby or they move on from him, either way, I think the acquisitions are pretty well done. But also, shout out to the Titans. The Titans have made some sneaky
Yeah,
good
they
signings.
have actually.
Clearly, Robert Saleh has learned his lesson from his days with the Jets and with uh, Brian Daboll as offensive coordinator. He's getting the guys that he's familiar with, and if they turn around, if they get Jeremiah Love now, I think Cam Ward could be on the up and up.
Well,
So
he
on
had
the
a
What
quarterback.
about the Patriots? What do
on
you
the
guys
I
minus
think-
side, who do you think actually did the worst?
Jets, probably.
And, all right.
I'm gonna go on film and say the Chiefs.
What?
Well, they got
Well,
a
okay,
shit ton for Derek McDuffie, man. They got a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, they also gave up a lot for their DBs are depleted. They have almost
Yes.
no DBs.
Well, yeah.
Which is
But-
why, at 9, they're going to be sitting there and they're going to take a DB, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
I
Of
think
course,
Caleb Downs is the best player in the
they're not
draft.
having a choice. But once again, it's going to take 1 or 2 years for that person to materialize. Even Patrick Surtain, it took him 2 years to actually come into his own. So we'll see. But I think that all things considered, I think that the Chiefs' offense, got better. But their defense took a steep decline, and an AFC West division. That's not a good thing.
Didn't they also lose
Yeah.
one of their offensive linemen?
They did.
As
Well,
And maybe
not an offensive lineman. It was more like a halfback because that's where he lined up all the time.
yeah.
Like I guess if you count him as a tackle, but yes, Jawan Johnson, he left. But I mean,
They got
whatever.
better with him going. Like that's
Yeah.
like one of those
Yeah.
positive
Addition by subtraction.
Yeah, exactly. Addition by subtraction.
But the one thing about the Chiefs too, though, right? And especially like what they're trying to do right now with the teams that or the players that they're picking up right now, is it a signal that they acknowledge that Mahomes is not going to be available until around November?
Agree. The fact that they're actually loading up on their running back position, and the fact that they actually re-signed Kelsey, who was supposed to retire.
I don't understand that at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
So hey,
whatever.
man. Hey, God bless you guys. Keep fucking up. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I hate the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs, they deserve a couple years in purgatory for a little while. I mean,
I'm hoping for a 30-year fade. That's what I'm hoping for.
All I ask for is ask for 2. You know what I'm saying? If we can get that, that's fine. So we have some more parity in the AFC. But I think maybe the sneakily happiest person right now is probably Joe Burrow because at least he doesn't have to worry about Maxx Crosby, Myles Garrett, and TJ Watt.
Right?
Yeah.
Good point.
So I saw a meme.
He's really not going to have any fun.
Yeah, I know, right? But I saw a meme of it was like this AI thing, like he's sitting on a couch and like on a white t-shirt, and standing behind him it's all four, all three of them.
Oh my god.
Just look at their chops. I was like, bro,
That's jacked up, dude.
I was like, yo, that's just wrong. But hey, AI is out of control. But yeah, I think right now Philly has lost a lot of players, man.
Yeah.
And there's a rumor that they possibly could be trading Jalen Carter.
Jeez.
Yeah, I've heard
I
that
Over
don't-
rumor.
AJ Brown?
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. That's the funny part, right? Everybody, all our eyes was on AJ Brown, but it turns out like they signed Jordan Davis, and there's a possibility that Jalen Carter could be on the move.
Wow.
Dang.
they're
The Raiders.
they're got a down arrow pointed next to them too. The Eagles.
Yeah.
I
All I'm
agree
praying
with that.
for is that the tush push goes away. That's all I want. That
Well,
will seal their fate.
Actually,
Hey,
I think that they already
Rico-
voted for that. I think that the tush push was voted out.
No. They haven't had the meetings yet.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
they did. My
Mm-mm.
bad.
That's not till probably like I think April or May.
All right,
When the league
sorry,
meetings
audience. Sorry for the fake news.
Don't
No,
worry,
no,
I'll
you
edit
good.
that one.
Hater, you should be pretty happy though, because nobody in your division did anything. The Vikings literally did nothing. The Bears, like they signed like a guy, but their defense is
Yeah.
on paper is going to
Yeah.
look is really bad still.
Yeah. The only thing that's pissing me off right now is that the Bears keep taking our players. I'm not too happy about that. But
But if y'all
Oakley
get Maxx
Freeman.
Crosby, oh my
Oh,
God, look
oh,
out.
oh,
boy.
please let that
Hutchinson
like
on one side, Crosby on the other. That's
I just need somebody, Hutchinson, Hendrickson, Maxx Crosby, even Cam Jordan. Please, just somebody. Just come on. I need somebody, man. Come on. But we getting the offensive line fixed, and we just got to get the defensive line and the secondary together because I have no idea what's going to happen. Brian Branch, I'm not expecting him back for a good while. I don't know what's wrong with Kirby Joseph. Terrion Arnold, I don't know what in the world he doing. He's trying to resurrect the next episode of Cops. I don't know what the hell. I just need my defense to get it together, man. But we're still patient. We're gonna be in the bargain basement of free agency pretty soon, and that's where we live at, so it's okay. But what was I gonna say? Oh, so Angry Joey, I was gonna ask. So as far as the Broncos go, right? Are y'all looking? What are y'all going to do with Bo Nix, man? Are y'all going to try to lock him up now, or is Sean Payton trying to pull some dastardly, trick move or something?
Oh, man, that's a hell of a question. I really have no answer. Trying to figure out Sean Payton's mind is a Rubik's cube. If I had to guess, they're gonna have to try to lock him up. What else do they have? Because what they're doing is they're actually going to be trying to finish, at least Super Bowl contenders for the next 3-4 years. So what kind of quarterback are you going to get at that point? So I think that they have. How do I put it? Let's put it this way: the Broncos were one ankle break away from the Super Bowl. Can we all agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And me winning lots of money. Fuck.
Sorry, Tony, I couldn't deliver, man. I tried talking to him and he wasn't having it.
Thanks, buddy.
So the Super Bowl, who if the Broncos and the Seahawks with a fully healthy team, who would have won that game?
Seahawks.
It's anybody's guess. I'm guessing probably the Seahawks. But at the
I
same
don't
time,
know.
It would have been a better
It would have
game,
been one hell of a defensive game. I know that.
For sure.
It'd been more entertaining.
Yeah, it'd be more entertaining. I think that the Broncos might have been able to pull it off. So yeah, I think that they're going to give Bo Nix big time money.
Extension. They've got to be talking extension right now.
They have to be.
Yeah.
And if they're not, they're stupid.
Mahomes style.
Because
Sign him to a 10-year.
he's already a top 10 quarterback. How rare is that? So yeah, I think that they need to. I pray that they are actually giving him some big money because I think that Bo Nix, he's athletic, he has good arm, he has good accuracy, he reads the play well, he reads the field well. I mean, come on. How can you not? And if they don't give him that money, they're
They're gonna give it to
really
him.
they're stupid. They're stupid. You know, I mean, and that'll just make me just sick to my stomach.
Yeah. They
Well,
should sign him to a Pat Mahomes type deal. 10 years, lock him up.
yeah, I'll let
Ma-
you slide on that top 10 Bo Nix being a top 10 quarterback. I'll let that go.